And I thought it would be really fun to hold a call for the sheer purpose of sharing with you some of the insights that I've had over the years, especially over the last few, and just celebrating our industry and celebrating what we do, and showing you guys that anything, and I do mean anything, is possible in this industry. I really want to make it clear, I am a old school network marketer, the kind that, goes around and talks to people at the supermarket, except I was a chicken and didn't like to talk to people at the supermarket and at the mall. So I started investigating on how to do all this stuff on the Internet. And that's how I got here, Old school network marketing, old school concepts and ideas put together with new school technology, and the rest is history. But I want to tell you guys a story, and I want to share some thoughts with you. So you might want to grab a pen. You may or may not want to take notes tonight. But in 1999, I was 270-plus pounds. I was $40,000 in credit card debt. I had, my husband and I had bought a house, and we kind of forgot that you actually had to put heat in the house and water and electricity in the house, and it was costing us too much to run. So every month when we were short, we just charged some more stuff, and we had charged appliances and all kinds of things. And, it didn't take very long to run up a huge debt and then finally max out all our credit cards. Probably could have gotten more, but I was just kind of like, we have to stop. And I was home with the kids. I had left my job, and, I forgot that they weren't going to pay me anymore, and I kept charging stuff, and I needed to do something. I was getting sick. I had been told I was going to be diabetic any minute, and so I was having health challenges, financial challenges, and I'm at a family party where I'm miserable because I hated going to those things because I felt like everybody was looking at me and I was embarrassed. And in walked David. David's my husband's cousin, and he was like Mr. Perky, happy guy. He had lost over 100 pounds. And he was like a different person, and he was your typical person, when you think network marketing and people that are just in your face, and he was just kind of all over, and he insisted that he was coming over the next day. And he came over to my in-laws, and he had this, have you guys ever seen the movie, Kathy, you ever seen Mary Poppins back in the day?
Yeah.
And you know how Mary Poppins showed up and she had that carpet bag, and she's like pulling treats, like coat racks out of a thing, and things that shouldn't.
Everything.
Yeah, right? Well, David's doing that. He's pulling out boxes of lotions and potions, and then he pulls out a blender, and he has canisters of stuff. And I'm just looking at him like he's nuts. And he's like, you're going to love it. It's absolutely incredible. You're going to love it. And I'm like, okay, So he's mixing me up these drinks, and he said, taste this one. And I went, I don't know, Dave, it's okay, but I don't drink milkshakes and stuff. I don't like that type of stuff. I don't know. And he goes, no problem. And then he mixes up another thing, and he hands me this chocolate drink. And I took a sip of it, and I went, that's pretty good. That's not bad, Dave. And he goes, you're going to love it. It's absolutely incredible. You're going to lose weight like crazy. And so my father-in-law saw me hedging with David because what nobody knew is that I couldn't afford it. It was $200 for the whole package, the big ultimate package, and I couldn't afford it. And my father-in-law bought one for me and one for my mother-in-law. He wrote David a check and handed it to him, and David went, great! And he put all my stuff in this little box, and he's like, you're going to do great. And, it's funny, Kath, because my mother-in-law actually never did it and returned it. I can't believe she returned it. Yeah, she returned the product to her own nephew. Talk about. But I felt obligated, and, I did well, and I lost 5 pounds the first week and 11 pounds the first month. And this was at the beginning of October, 1999. It was actually October 2nd. And then David invited me to a meeting, and I thought I was going to a Weight Watchers meeting where we were going to learn about weight loss and stuff. And I ended up going to what I now know today was a rip-roaring, old-fashioned opportunity meeting. And my eyes got so big because I thought, this is it, this is it, this is it, oh my gosh, this is it. Not only can I lose all the weight I need to lose, because I was so embarrassed, I was so miserable, I didn't even go out of my house, I barely left. All I did was change diapers and watch Oprah. not only can I lose all this weight, but this is going to be a way for me to fix the debt, because my husband didn't really know how bad it was, and I wanted to fix it. So that day, 72-95, it was October 24th, 1999, I signed on the dotted line, and I started this journey. Guys, I had been trained up to be a Spanish teacher. That was my background. I knew nothing about sales. I had never done any sales. I knew nothing about marketing. I didn't know what network marketing was. What I did know is that if I could sell a program, I can make $100, and $100 bought groceries. Mm-hmm. So the whole thing began. And we had a house party, and my cousin came up, and it was incredible. We sold all this product. They just looked at his before picture, looked at him, and they bought everything under the sun. I did a lot of business, like right away. It was very exciting, and the money was very exciting. But within a short period of time, I realized I was kind of in trouble because I was really shy. I didn't want to talk to people. I couldn't go out and wear a button, and I didn't know what I was doing. And once the people who started on those products in the beginning wore off, because let's face it, people quit diets and people go on their way and so on, once those people wore off and once the couple of people that we had signed with the company kind of washed out, because, guys, let's face it, people come and people go, I was then freaking out. And I knew I wanted to make this happen. And every time I went to a meeting, because I used to go to the meetings every month, I used to sit and I used to look at what I called the shiny, happy people. And they'd go across the stage, and all the women looked so pretty and so thin and so happy, and all the men looked so good, and everybody always had a smile on their face, and this was like this alternate existence in my life. I had this miserable daily life, and then once a month on a Saturday I'd get dressed up, and I'd go to this place. And I knew that I wanted to live in that world, this world where people had freedom and did fun things. So that was the crude beginnings of it all. And what I decided to do was I wanted to make this my profession. And this is what I want you guys to hear. For those of you that really want to do this, especially if you've been in the industry for a couple of years and you're not where you want to be, have you decided that you want to make this your profession? I went down to Barnes & Noble and Borders Books, and I'd go there all the time. I'd bring my daughter. They were little kids. And we'd go in the children's section. I'd go down to the business section. I'd grab every book about network marketing that existed. I'd take a whole pile of them back, and I'd let her play in the children's section. She'd read books and color on the chalkboard. And I'd sit and I plowed through these books. The first year in network marketing, how to build a network marketing money machine, the greatest networker in the world, just what to say when you talk to yourself. There's a million of them. I have shelves of these books. I have every book ever written on this industry. Jan Rue, Fire It Up, read them all. And I used to read all of them. And I plotted and I planned. And then I got on the Internet. And I learned more and more and more about marketing systems, marketing process, marketing funnels. And I'm here today.